All right, so we're now live. What is going on, everyone? How we doing? How we doing?
Happy Hump Day, Josh.
Yes, it is
Middle of the week.
Wednesday. Oh my gosh, what a week it is, especially if you're here in Disney World. And of course, this week we are joined by Michelle. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Very good.
Fantastic.
Glad it's Wednesday, I suppose. You know.
Yes, one step closer to the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, it's if for some reason out there you're listening and you've been living underneath a rock, the 50th is on Friday, and people are already starting to show up. We are starting a few minutes early. We're going to try and get off before 9 o'clock because they're doing Harmonious. They're doing a live stream of that, and I think they might even be streaming. Are they streaming Happily Ever After as well? Maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I believe tonight is the last night for Happily Ever After. At the same time, they're doing a soft showing of Harmonious, which was a total play to try and draw people away from Magic Kingdom over to Epcot. But I don't know how well it's going to work. So we'll have to wait and see. Can't wait to see some of the video. But
Yeah.
welcome everybody to the Goldgell Getaways travel podcast. And if you don't know who we are a full-service travel planning agency here to help you plan your next destination vacation, whether you've got big kids, small kids, or no kids at all. Wherever you're planning to go, whether it's Disney World or across the pond or to Japan in 2023, we've probably got somebody who can help you and who is knowledgeable about the destination to get you to where you're going. So you can head on over to www.goldgellgetaways.com to start planning your next vacation. And somebody will be in touch with you, I assume, within 24 hours because it is during the week.
Right.
And normally we do this on Fridays, and I say, wait a couple days. People do like to enjoy the weekends every so often.
I think we got to get away from saying that we normally on Fridays. We're normally Wednesdays now. We're midweek guys.
That is true. I think it's more of like a
whatever's Josh's schedule.
Whenever we can make it work is probably the better way to put it. So, you know,
whatever works.
We will be back next Wednesday though. So
Yes.
We're going to be talking all about Disney Cruise Line. Pam, our co-owner for the agency, and her husband were just on, I believe, the Dream.
They're still on the Dream right now.
Dream, right? So, and so they're going to be back, and we're going to be talking about that next week, and hear their thoughts because there's a lot of things that have changed being on a Disney Cruise Line.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about that. Pam kept sending me pictures. She actually ran into my service staff that I had 2 years ago, and she was sending me pictures.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
so that was really
That's
fun.
awesome.
Didn't have her for service, but Pam hunted her out for me, and that was awesome to get a picture from Pam with Annika.
I just who was it?
Annika?
Over at Palo? Was she in Palo?
No. She's in the main dining rooms.
Okay.
Because I know everybody probably says this about the dining service on Disney Cruise Lines, that their person is the best. Annika is the best, hands down.
Yeah.
Nobody's better than her.
Okay. All right. Cool. So Matt, you want to take us away into our usual little spiel that we've got to start off the podcast every week?
Yep. First things first, Josh. I'm going to put Pam on the spot next week too. We got to figure out these dates for when Adam's going to do these cooking classes. I got people chomping at the bit about this. People kicking and screaming, like wanting to break my door down, thinking I have something to do with it.
I think you have everything to do with it.
Well, if they saw me cook, they want me to have no part of it.
No part of it?
Michelle, definitely no part of it. But as you know, we got some cruise information as usual. Yes. Just quickly, Barbados with the boys, done, gone, disappeared.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, we can't make that work. The room blocks that we have, where it's we have some great pricing on all kinds of different staterooms on the Symphony of the Seas, which leaves out of Miami. We're doing it February vacation and April school vacation, with stops at Perfect Day, Coco Cay, Antigua, and St. Thomas. So that's February 19th for 7 days, April 16th for 7 days, both out of Miami. Great opportunity to experience Perfect Day. If you haven't been to Perfect Day, you're missing out. Take advantage of these, especially the people from the Northeast, where it's your school vacations. And as I say every week, because I stole it from Laurie. I'm shocked she hasn't texted me because she probably watches the show every week. Hashtag revenge vacation. And then questions or stuff about that, you can email events@goldgellgetaways.com. And in the subject, either February or April room blocks.
Perfect. Oh, I almost forgot. Let me throw that up there. So we've
That's
got it.
that's what I was waiting for. I was trying to time that out.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. I've got it. I've got
First timer. It's okay.
it. You would think sometimes.
And then before we get into Alaska, Josh,
Here it comes.
you know what I'm asking.
Yeah, I know.
Just say no. Just say no.
I literally.
Just say no.
I literally,
Just say no.
Hold on. Let me shift. Oh, I can't shift it that way. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but you might just barely be able to see. I literally just started pulling up the shore excursions, and I was like, oh, I better take a look at those real quick. No, we have not selected anything. Listen, you go to your cruise, all right? You go to your cruise. I feel like Alaska, for an Alaskan cruise, there are way more activities to choose from than any other cruise that I've been on, and it is so overwhelming. You just get lost in it all, right? I mean, what's this? Grizzly Falls ziplining expedition? Well, that sounds great. Now I'm starting to rethink what I wanted to do. Maybe we're going to do that now. I don't know. There's so much stuff. Wildlife safari and a beach bonfire. That sounds great. We've got an exclusive Alaskan whale discovery. I mean, there's so many cool things to choose from.
Yeah, I don't think you could go wrong with anything.
I don't know. We want to be able to do everything. Obviously, that's not the case.
I did look into something last week, Josh. What is it? The car taking off?
Oh boy.
There's a cider house in Victoria, British Columbia.
Victoria.
Yeah. There's a cider house probably about a 15-minute walk from the port.
Well, I'm all about that.
Just saying where we're going. You have to vlog before that because we know what happens.
Oh
if
my
we,
gosh!
We drink before we vlog.
That was my favorite vlog. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh!
People get mad.
My boss doesn't let me live that down. Yeah, so I mean, obviously we're doing this Alaska group cruise again. Plenty of spots are still available if you're interested in going. I'm telling you, it's going to be the best time that you could possibly have on a cruise, especially with all of us. It's a great group of people, and if you're a little shy, don't be shy. I mean, it's okay to be shy, but everybody's super nice. You're going to get to know everybody, and you can do as much or as little as you want with the entire group. That's kind of how our original cruise was, which I always have to play this video clip.
Oh, this is my favorite part
of us. This was our first group, and it was so much fun. We had a great time, and of course, the first night we had to do the silent disco. This is the kind of icebreaker, even though like the entire group met up before this. There's that lady. So it's a lot of fun. I would highly encourage you guys to look into it if you're interested, and come along, have fun. You don't have to do all the excursions. You don't have to do any of the excursions. There will be some drinking that will be definitely going on, and so lots of drinks from the Bionic Bar, I'm sure. So if you're interested, you can head on over or send an email to events@goldgellgetaways.com.
Yeah,
and put in there
Alaska. I'm sorry. I'm kind of excited, Josh, about all the stuff like on the ship too. It's like acrobat training. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to do it, but I'll watch it. I'll watch it. But they have the skydive tube on the back of the ship.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more where I'm kind of.
That would be cool to do.
Bounce off the walls.
It'd be cool, for sure. Why not? Right?
We got a lot of options of things to do. Even though Alaska is supposed to be like the bucket list trip, you only go once. You might have to go twice. And
I would agree with that. You probably have to go more than once for sure to be able to see everything. So
right.
But awesome. So that is all we really have to talk about there. Do we have any pertinent news, I should say?
I didn't put any news down, but I'm going to talk real quick about Space 220. So Dave Adams went there yesterday. If anybody remembers Dave was on the Star Wars episode we had a couple weeks ago. Yep. I asked if I could quote him on this.
Oh boy.
A++, best food at Epcot.
Wow. I have not dined there, and I'm going to have to strongly disagree with Dave on that one. But I appreciate his input.
Like I'm reading the text right here.
I did see
he said the only downside was the pricing, which we all knew was going to be the major downside.
He was on right at the beginning of the show. I put his comment up there. So he is in Magic Kingdom. We thought maybe he was still hanging out over at Ohana. I believe he's well, maybe. He's there getting ready to watch Happily Ever After. I find that very interesting. Space 220 has had very mixed reviews on the food so far. So it is what I will say is very well known, and I think a lot of people will find that it's not adventurous, but you know it well enough that like it's still going to be really great food. So I think, and I keep saying this, I've said this last week and the week before, I think that it's still going to be very popular, as it still is at the moment.
Right.
But I don't know, the best food in Epcot.
I mean, it's like he gave me like what he got. It's like they got calamari as an appetizer.
Okay.
Dave had the duck, which doesn't appeal to me to start with.
Interesting.
Amanda had the short ribs, and then they sent a picture of some sort of chocolate dessert. It looks really good, but also I don't discriminate against food. If it's edible, it's in my stomach.
I agree. I mean, I try not to discriminate against food either. As long as it's good, I will eat it. But interesting.
And I found out the moon rocks that we were talking about a few weeks ago, what they were. They're pop rocks.
Are they really?
Yeah, the old school pop rocks.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I wonder if you can get, because they clip it to the side of the cup, so you can put in your own. I wonder if you can get extra.
You could probably ask. I mean, maybe they won't give it to you, but you could at least ask. I mean, why not? So interesting. I mean, as far as pricing goes, it's pretty expensive, but you do get an appetizer, entree, and dessert, which is really nice. And I think my favorite place to eat is Takumi Te. That's in Japan. That's their new restaurant. Mm-hmm. It is a signature style restaurant. You do not get appetizer, entree, and dessert unless you do like their prefix menu. But it was really good. Also not very Americanized, so like Space 220 is. But so cool. Michelle, anything you want to add? Anything you saw, heard?
I think that covers anything I saw or heard this week. I mean, it's pretty much all just leading up to the big 50th. I did see that they partnered with Southwest to put Disney wraps on the planes.
Since you're not doing a vlog on that, you want to talk quickly about that?
I feel like I could talk about this on here because it's not our
you didn't. And the thing about it is you didn't. Right. It's both channels.
I will say that I was very unsure of this event when Disney reached out to us to send us over there. Basically, all they told us was that it was a gala event, and so I assumed that we were just like they're bringing us over for like a presentation and food, and they weren't giving us any details at all.
Is that why you wore a sport coat?
Well,
kind of went dressy.
Well, I mean, I have to look better than everybody else that's there, man. I mean, come on, seriously. So we got over there, and sure enough, basically when we kind of pulled in to the hangar, we did get a short little view of it as we came around the turn, and we're like, oh wow, this is awesome. They wrapped a plane. And sure enough, they open up the bay doors, and there was the plane. And apparently I was saying yesterday, I wasn't sure if there was going to be more than one. I thought there would be. Apparently there will be only that one plane. And that is it. You will be able to track it and see where it's at. I know people were already like, oh, I'm just going to track it to where it's going, and I'm going to book a flight so I can fly on it.
Yeah, that's a little overboard in my
might
eyes.
be a little excessive, but it's very cool.
Yeah.
You know, if I can play devil's advocate at all, I would say they should have done it on a Max 8, which is their newer line of planes. This was a 747-700 series or 737-700 series. So not a brand new plane. They just kind of, you know, put some nice little Disney touches on the inside and wrap the outside. So, but very cool. And we were the first passengers, assuming, to fly it back from Houston over to Orlando. So it was pretty cool and an awesome experience. But yeah,
that was cool how you pretty much were on the tarmac, and then it's like, get on the plane.
Yeah. Somebody was like, "Oh, showing security at the airport."
That was that table, wasn't it? Really?
It was like we weren't really showing security at all. It's just we're in a completely separate area in Southwest's private hangar. So, but yeah, I've never been. Cool. I've never been so thoroughly scanned and checked out for security. So that was
nice. Usually you got to buy dinner for somebody if they're going to do that.
Yeah. Well, you know. So
you mean when I was talking to you earlier in the day, when I talked to you about, I'm going to say mid-morning, and you were like, I'm going to Texas for 2 hours.
I was very, when I sent Matt the message, I was very, I wouldn't say frustrated, but there's just a lot of other things that I could have been doing. And I was like, if we're flying all the way out here for a dinner and like a show or something, a presentation, but it was really cool. It was an awesome opportunity, and we thank Disney very much for it. It was very cool. So
awesome.
Nice.
All right, enough about Southwest planes. Well,
quick. How was the Texas barbecue? I know you had it.
The Texas barbecue?
I know you had barbecue.
We shouldn't discuss that lunch that we had.
Okay.
Let's move on. Anyways, so today for our podcast topic, we are talking about heading out to Vegas, and we love taking Southwest. Southwest has direct flights from Orlando to Vegas, which great segue, I suppose. Maybe I just kind of made it happen. It wasn't planned, but yeah, so we thought we'd talk about Vegas today. Taylor and I have been getting a lot of questions about how we planned our Vegas trip, because we did a little bit more than just the Vegas trip itself. But Matt has been there many, many times, doing all kinds of things, both adult and family friendly. So we're going to kind of like let him take the charge here, and we'll just chime in as we kind of go along.
I like how pre-broadcast we're not going to talk about, and then you just shut me under the bus.
I didn't say anything. I just said, you know, it's,
I like to refer to it as I've done multiple things on different trips. So
listen, the clubs, the clubs are adult only, right? You can't take kids in there. So
drinking on the strip is adult too.
There you go. So, see,
don't
throw yourself under the bus.
Well, all my friends that watch this know, so it's not
right.
They probably most of them participated in activities. So, as Josh said, I've been to Vegas 7, 8, 9 times now. I don't even remember. And this was a good topic to use, especially with Josh just getting back. And I'm using his experience off of my experiences, where we've actually, in all my experiences, I've never had the experience that Josh has had. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I've now Grand Canyon. I've never done any of the. I'll be honest, I've really never left the Strip, besides to play.
Oh wow!
Besides to play golf or Fremont Street. So everybody's vacation's different. So going back to last week, I posted in the chat, in our chat on our private Facebook page, looking for an agent to come on. Need PG-13 stories. Not even 5 minutes later, Michelle's like, "It's me. I got it. I got you."
That's funny.
And that's how we got Michelle on, because I'm assuming probably her trips might be a little bit different than mine.
Now I'm very curious. I'm really curious to hear about these.
So I'll just start off with like one of my first trips, because, like you said, Josh, they can be anything from the highest adult version, like a bachelor party, to the lowest end of a family vacation. My first trip out there was my cousin's wedding. It wasn't. Everybody thinks Vegas. Everybody thinks like like Britney Spears married that dude in like a corner, and John Bon Jovi got married in a car, and all my wrestling fans, when they walked, Triple H married Stephanie McMahon through the drive-through.
Yep. I did know that one.
All my wrestling friends out there. That's not all Vegas weddings. So from my example, so my cousin got married, I think it was like on a Saturday. They did the pre-rehearsal dinner at a restaurant away from where they were, the wedding was. So they had the reception, what is it, the pre-rehearsal dinner, sorry.
Yeah, rehearsal dinner.
As you can see, people don't invite me to weddings too much, or to be in weddings. There's a lot of reasons for that. They rented out the House of Blues at Mandalay Bay.
Oh, very cool.
Yep.
That's
and
awesome.
they didn't make the rehearsal dinner just a rehearsal dinner for like the family. It's like every guest that came into Vegas for that was invited to that.
Nice.
So it's not like everybody's thinking the quick wedding, like everybody's in and out and stuff like that. Yes, yeah. Elvis did make an appearance at the reception. Because even if you are going to Vegas, Elvis has to be involved in one way or the other. And then they actually got married at the wedding pavilion at the Paris Hotel, which, think about it, you know, I mean, Paris, France, you kind of get that Eiffel Tower feel of it. And then they did the reception downstairs, and they rented out a restaurant too. So, I mean, it was like a legit wedding weekend, kind of like, I hate to say normal people, but like most of the world does.
Well, it's more of a traditional wedding weekend, right?
Sorry,
traditional, probably a more
adult word,
probably the better word to use there. I mean, that's a really great point, though, Matt. I mean, when somebody says wedding and they say Vegas right after that, or vice versa, however you want to go about it. I mean, I would initially think absolutely, it's a short-term thing. Like you're going out, pretty much elopement,
right?
You know, that I think that's really kind of like, that would be the right word, right? So traditional weddings and elopement weddings, I think a lot of people think of elopement weddings where it's just kind of them, maybe a few people, they go out, they get it done, and quick,
and then they party.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to say there was probably about 55 to 60 of us in Vegas for that wedding. You know, I mean,
that's decent. I mean, for a destination wedding, that's
right.
A lot.
And that's the thing about it, is like everybody that's a good word to use, destination wedding. Everybody thinks like sandals, the Caribbean, stuff like that. You can stay right in the States if you really wanted to.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
Michelle,
go ahead.
Michelle, what was your first Vegas experience? Keep it PG-13. Remember, we got to keep it family friendly.
You did say a strong PG-13, right?
Yes, strong.
No, so my first Vegas trip was, it was actually for my birthday. And a bunch of my friends, I'd say between 10 and 15 of us, but we were from all over the country, met up there. And so I was the only one flying from here. So I was like the last one to arrive. We were staying at the Link, which I'd say is a good party hotel, if that's what you're looking for. It's a great party hotel. And it's a good price too. So if you're wanting a budget friendly, and it's still nice and it's right in the heart of things. But we were just going to 3 days, just party, celebrate my birthday for all 3 days and have a great time. That's my favorite Vegas story. And it's my first one that I ever had. So I get there, I had a shuttle rented, to get from the airport. Because back then it wasn't really an Uber thing. Right. That wasn't really a big deal.
Talking about that, Michelle, real quick. The Uber and Lyft stuff is such a big commodity out there, or renting limos, because those taxi lines, like the old days, they can get long, hours long.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, what did you do, Josh? Did you?
Well, when we got out there, we just took a Lyft, and it was, I don't know if it's because we got in like first thing in the morning. We didn't have an issue at all getting somebody. We did have an issue finding the lifts. That was our problem, but we had no issue getting one. It was, it took 5 or 10 minutes, and they were already there. So, but
nice.
So back. I'm sorry, Michelle. Back.
No, you're fine. So I had a shuttle, and it went to my hotel, Caesars, and one other hotel. And that's what it was. So I didn't expect anything. I figured no problem. I get my carry-on and I head over, and there was I felt like a billion people waiting for these shuttles. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be here all day. My friends are texting me like, you're the star of the show. It's your birthday. Where are you? We're all here. And I was like, well, I don't know. So I'm just waiting and waiting. And, in Vegas, you make friends anywhere. But the 3 guys in front of me start talking, and they found out it was my birthday. And one guy's like, I'm here for my birthday. And he busts out a bottle of whiskey, and he busts out those little red Solo Cup shot glasses and just starts pouring. And so while we waited for our shuttle, we just were taking birthday shots, and I made friends. I don't know their name. They don't know my name. We just made friends, and it was a wonderful thing. Well, the shuttle finally came. They pulled me into their circle. You're with us. You're going to get on this. We're not going to leave you by yourself. Come on. And I was like, well, that's awesome. Well, yeah. Right before us, it cut off. And they're like, the next one will be here in an hour. And I was like, I can't wait an hour.
Oh, no.
So this is it's it kind of reminds me of The Hangover or some kind of, movie thing. They grabbed my bag, come on, you're coming with us. And it wasn't scary, anything like that. But they took over to the limo window, and they got us a car. And they were staying at the hotel across the street from me. And they were like, you don't have to pay anything. It's your birthday. We need to get you to your friends. And so we got this limo. I took all these selfies with these people that I don't know. And we went around the town. And the guy's like, I make one stop. So they're like, yeah, stop at the liquor store. So we stopped at the liquor store. They bought me a bunch of booze to take with me back to my hotel. And I showed up to my friends who were playing beer pong at the bar downstairs. And that was my first 5 minutes and then beyond when I stepped into Vegas, going around town with people I don't know in a limo. So, and getting free alcohol.
I kind of feel like that is a almost, kind of perfect idea of what Vegas is. If I'm thinking about Vegas, and it's kind of like that scene, that's something I could imagine happening. So that's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Right.
What a great way to start it.
Yeah, and going back to my first time when I went I got in that taxi line, and ever since that time, no matter if it's myself personally or I'm booking somebody for Vegas, I will not put them through that torture. I'd rather pay the $100, $115 for a one-way limo ride in a stretch limo going down the strip, kind of being the boss.
Feeling like a star,
feeling like a star coming off the plane, and you got the guy's got your sign.
Yeah,
it's so much better than hey, you're in Vegas, you're excited, now you're just waiting in line forever.
So
forever.
I think we may have seen that, right? So the separate actual taxi line, that's totally different, a totally different area than where you'd actually get a Lyft or an Uber, I believe. So. Now I don't think it's as much of a hard thing to get, but we did just fly into Vegas. Something I think a lot of people should know if you're thinking about getting a rental car. We did just fly into Vegas earlier this month when we did our California trip. We rented a car, and the way Vegas is set up, the rental car area is actually not connected to the airport. So if you get a rental car, just note and allow yourself some extra time that you will have to take a shuttle from the airport to their rental car location. It was maybe, 10 minutes, and we waited for a bus, not even 5 minutes. They were coming pretty often. And we did get there first thing in the morning. So keep that in mind if you do have a show, dinner, or whatever that you're kind of planning for. And if you think that you're going to be able to get your car very quickly, allow yourself probably an extra 30, 40 minutes even, because the lines over there get pretty long for the rental car places. So,
and when you rented your car at the airport, like you said, when you went the first time, you didn't rent it at the airport, did you? No, you rented it.
No, when I did rent a car, I rented it from Enterprise, and it was at, it was at Tropicana. Tropicana. Yeah. So, and that was pretty simple. It was pretty easy, straightforward. So
that's cool. Josh, since if anybody ever knows me, I stay at the Venetian, I stay at the Palazzo. I don't change. I'm very simple when it comes to that. I stay very cheaply there. We'll just leave it at that. Thank you, Annie Beth. And Michelle stayed at Lynx. Let's talk about your experience at where did you stay? You stayed at the biggest party hotel I know of.
The biggest what?
Party hotel. Like that's huge.
Party?
Party. Like
Party.
Party.
Oh, party? Yeah.
Yes.
So we were at I can't even remember what it's called
Luxor.
now.
It's Luxor.
The Luxor, yeah. Which is right next to Mandalay Bay. They're actually connected. And this is the photo that's up on the screen right now is basically right after you walk into the main doors. It has this, very Egyptian pyramid theme to it. And I mean, as far as partying goes, we didn't really see much of that.
That was me being sarcastic to start with.
Okay, just making sure. There is, they do have some shows there at the Luxor. They've got this fantasy show, which we clearly did not go see. And Carrot Top is pretty big out in Vegas. Obviously, he's there, and he's got a show going. So, the Luxor.
So you pretty much stayed, like, if in Disney terms, you stayed at a value resort.
100%. Which I didn't really know any better. I was kind of trying to look for something that was on the cheaper end of all the resorts and the hotels. And I mean, it looked pretty good. This was a classic. The photos looked great. The room, a little bit different. So, but they are doing a lot of renovations to the hotel itself. So some of those rooms, might change. But I think the really cool thing for us was just kind of the experience of being able to stay in the Luxor, which is the pyramid. The elevators in there actually do not go straight up and down. They actually travel at I want to say a 30-degree angle or something like that to go up. Yeah, the pyramid, which is kind of cool. Feels very strange, almost like you're on a cruise ship because you're going side to side instead of straight up and down. But yeah, I think the biggest shock was that we had no microwave or refrigerator in our room. There was definitely a space in the chests of drawers where the TV stand was at, where there once was a refrigerator. So I'd like to know why that had to go away. But I mean, if you're looking for something that's value, that's probably going to be a good place to stay. You're at the southernmost part of the strip itself. So you do have to walk a little bit or take the little monorail that they have to get up to the heart of the strip. But for what we were doing and what we had planned, we didn't really mind it.
Right.
So,
I mean, that's the thing. It's depending on what you're doing in the Vegas area, should really kind of dictate where you're staying. You know what I mean? Absolutely. You guys were off climbing mountains and doing almost falling into the Grand Canyon, all that.
We did do some other stuff.
So you're not staying in your room. You don't need to be at your resort a lot. Right. I mean, Venetian Palazzo is kind of a little bit far away from yours. You know what I mean? It's on the.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're talking about.
Did you walk it? Did you walk it or did you drive it?
No, we did. We did walk most of the strip. I think maybe the first evening, because we went. Oh boy, where did we go that first night? We did huff it. We walked
the chandelier one.
The chandelier, yeah, all the way up at the Cosmopolitan. So we made that hike the whole way up there. Now we did not make the hike back. We took an Uber back,
smart
or a Lyft.
Yes,
but I think what I will say though, what is kind of nice about that is we still got to experience a lot of the stuff we didn't really. Sorry, I want to take that back. We got to see a lot of the strip when we did do that walk, which was still kind of cool. Plenty of opportunities for us to stop and look at stuff if we wanted to. We didn't really, but we also went in the dead of summer. Not the dead of summer, but we were there in late June, so it was super hot. If you go in the wintertime, I would say definitely stay at the Luxor and make that walk, especially towards the evenings when the temperature is much cooler and you can just kind of relax and not have to worry about sweating to death and dying of dehydration.
Right.
So, especially after you've consumed cocktails.
Yeah,
that are strong.
That's the fun part about it. I guess I shouldn't say fun, but the adult thing to do is
it's still fun. I mean, I think you could say that for sure.
Fun, okay,
yeah.
You can get a drink it start out at, we'll call it your resort, the Luxor, and then Yep, Excalibur is inexpensive too. Those right next to each other, as Josh referred to it the first time I talked to him, the Castle Place.
I think is that what I said, or did I say medieval times?
Castle Place.
Castle Place. Yeah.
Yes, which he's right on point.
I mean, it's what it is.
It is.
Like if you're walking this strip, like, and you're an adult and you partake in alcoholic beverages, don't be afraid to try different resorts or hotels and casinos and bounce in and try different drinks. Each place has different deals on drinks. Yeah. I know Casino Royale, they used to have like $1 Michelob Ultras. I'm not a Michelob Ultra guy, but for $1 I will be.
For $1.
And from what I found out is during the COVID time, unfortunately, it has gone up to $3, which is still a great deal.
Yeah.
And I saw what Lindsay posted, the Bellagio to Stratosphere. That is far. It is very far.
Stratosphere is, when we're talking about two polar opposites of the Strip, Mandalay Bay and the Luxor would be at the most southern end of the official Strip. Stratosphere is like basically the very, very north point. You're really kind of starting to push out of the Strip and into whatever the rest of the area you would call it, but very, very far. So
I just want to throw in one thing on a hotel since we're on them right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people might be interested to know. My other hotel other than Link is Park MGM because it is completely no smoking.
Oh.
So people who have just allergies to smoke or who are like, asthma or who just don't like it, you cannot smoke anywhere in Park MGM Hotel.
Yeah, I struggle when I'm playing blackjack. Mm-hmm. Like people smoking. Like I know casinos have kind of split up like the smoking and non-smoking, but it's still
you still smell it. It still
there.
Wafts.
Right.
And so you can't smoke. You don't even get that. In most places you walk in, you just get that. You don't get that when you walk in there. There's no smoking at the pool, the corridors, in the casino, in the rooms, in anywhere, in the restaurants. So it's a very non-smoker friendly hotel. So I would put that out to anyone who would want to go and like to experience that. And I mean, it's very classic. It's not like super fancy, but it's a good option.
Right. And sorry, Michelle, what was that one again? The MGM you said?
Park MGM.
Park MGM. Okay. All right. Cool.
Josh, I was just thinking this because you're our what I want to use here, the word, our athletic advisor. I'll use that. I think you should. Hey, I know you're a Run Disney guy. Run Disney, love it for the Dragon Master Foundation, and I get that. I think you run the Rock and Roll Las Vegas Marathon.
Okay, let's just talk real quickly about the mental state that you have to be in to even run in Vegas itself.
It's in February though.
Okay,
and you get to dodge people.
You get to what? Dodge people?
Well, it's probably wicked early in the morning, and you're probably dodging that person coming out of the club, holding their high heels, trying to get over to Denny's for like a late night, early morning breakfast.
If it does not correlate with the same weekend as Princess Weekend, I will consider it.
February 27th. I pulled it up just because.
I think Princess might be maybe a week or two before that. I give a lot of credit to these people out there who live out there, or if you're vacationing and you're going for a run. I mean, even in June, the morning that I walked out to go get the car from Tropicana, because it's very close to the Luxor, the amount of people that I saw out running, I was just shocked. Yeah. If you've never been to Vegas or out west, it is at least in that area, it's very desert. It is a desert. Vegas is in the desert, and it is so dry that when you breathe, it just sucks the moisture from your body. It's crazy. It's such a strange feeling. Oh my gosh.
I want to say, Josh, the first time I really started to hear about experiences in Vegas was from my aunt. And like I said, she stays at the Venetian, the Palazzo, and the Bellagio very often. She tells me this time she was getting ready. It was during the summer, which she went out of her mind. She went around the turnstile to go outside and just coming back and just stayed inside the whole trip in the resort. Because most of these hotels, if you think about it,
yeah,
you don't have to leave. They have everything you need.
So, and I think that's a really good thing we could briefly talk about is that the hotels, at least the ones that we walk through, and I feel like we walk through quite a few of them, purposefully have a lack of signage inside of their, inside of the entire place. There is signage in there, and you can eventually find where you need to go. But for us, I mean, it was almost impossible to find out, you know, some simple things, most specifically where to go to catch Lyft and Ubers and taxis, because all of those things are done in different areas.
Right.
And they have such this kind of mindset to try and keep you inside and, spending money all the time, that they offer just about everything that you need, like you said, to keep you in there, from drinks to toiletries, food. I mean, entertainment. It's all. I mean, Luxor, right? Luxor has multiple shows in there, different other types of experiences. I think they had like a Titanic experience.
Yeah, there's a Titanic experience down in that area. Yep.
So I mean, you really don't have to leave if you're gonna. If you're going to stay somewhere like Matt does, or if that's something that you want to do, I honestly kind of would suggest that you spend most of your time there. I mean, it's great. So, oh no, that's too bad.
Of course, Marianne chimes in with the.
Thank you, Marianne, for keeping me alive.
Josh, I heard a rumor about Marianne the other day that she's going to actually be volunteering or working for the Run Disney events. So maybe when you're running by, she'll throw gummy bears at you.
Oh my gosh, Marianne, why didn't you tell me this? I can't wait.
I think she told me yesterday. So
I can't wait. That's awesome. I'm super excited.
More in your cheering squad. Yeah. So with the Venetian and Palazzo, they're two separate hotels under pretty much the same umbrella, but you have so much area in there. Like you got your multiple pools. If you can't find a place to eat in there, there's something wrong. Yeah. There's something wrong, especially if you have children. At the Venetian and Palazzo, they have like the old school mall food court where you can go get like Panda Express.
Yeah, the Luxor has that as well. So
I think probably most of them do, because it's just an easy
kind of quick thing. Yeah,
quick thing for some families or people on the run. One thing that I want to mention about the Venetian and Palazzo is I want to say 90% of their rooms are suite rooms. They're suites.
Oh wow! So
they're a little extra big. I know we fit up to 4 adults in it at one time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And they're spacious. And if you're in Vegas and you're hanging out in your room, you're not doing Vegas right.
That is probably true. Yes.
But you know what I mean? Everybody has their own thing. Like Josh dated Luxor because he likes pyramids. Some people stay at the Mirage.
Nothing to do with the price.
Some people like to stay at the Mirage because the sentimental value of Siegfried and Roy.
They want to see the tigers.
What do they call it? The White Garden, something like that.
Oh wow, awesome! Let's give Marianne a big congratulations. She's officially a Run Disney employee.
Yay, Marianne!
Yay! I can't wait. I can't wait to hopefully see you. I'll see you at probably at the Run Disney Expos. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That's super cool.
Yeah, it's the Siegfried and Roy's Secret Garden and Dolphin Habitat. I think I told you guys. You guys made your way over there, right?
We did go in there.
Yeah. I mean, I think I did that on my last. I've only done that experience once. I did it on my last day, and
don't go.
I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to do.
I don't agree. I mean, I guess if you've got kids, they might enjoy that. As adults, I'd say skip it.
But if you're looking for something to do, Josh, just kind of in like to kill some time before your flight.
Sorry.
She will throw gummy bears at you.
Sorry, I have to throw that up there.
And that's
yeah. So anyways, killing time.
So that's an option, especially if you're staying there, and then I know people still like circus. Like I know that's further down the strip. It's not very adult version, but it's got you got some amusement park rides in there. You got some games and stuff. It's more It's exactly what it says. It's Circus.
I mean, really, when you think about staying in Vegas, there's really something as far as accommodations go to fit literally anybody's needs,
Yeah.
likes, and just kind of what they want to do. I mean, from if you want to go back to the medieval times, they've got that there for you. If you want to go live a little bit more luxurious, that's there too. And if you just want to kind of be a little bit more silly and crazy, I mean, it's amazing that they have so many different themes for you to check out
Right.
or even just enjoy. So
yeah, this is something for everybody. So like I just pulled up like some of my notes here, Josh. It's like I know it's not as big now as it was probably about 5 years ago. They have a Hunger Games exhibit. Like
yes.
Hunger Games is still big, but it's not as big as it was when the movies came out in theaters. Yeah, there's an exhibit.
Yeah. They also had a Marvel exhibit while we were out there. We were going to try and hit that up, but we weren't able to.
You mean they have the high rollers? So the big Ferris wheel. What's that over at Cosmopolitan? The links.
It's right off the link.
Yeah.
The high roller is.
And then like the one that we talked about before coming on the air a little bit is like, people go up there to shoot machine guns. I guess that's a thing. People do it. Like I know friends have done it. Not something I'm gonna do.
It's I think it's a unique experience. I think that's probably more catered to non-Americans more than likely, because most Americans here can easily access something like that at their local Walmart. I mean, we've got one here in Orlando. It's called Machine Gun America, and it's basically the same thing where you can go in, and I don't know exactly how they run their rates, if it's by like a certain amount of time or if it's by ammo or what. But it gives you the experience. If you've never done something like that before and you're interested in doing it, it's something you can go do. You literally can go shoot machine guns in a closed gun range, and it's different.
Right.
Yeah.
And then one that like piques my interest. I've never had a chance to do it. Oh,
yeah. Lindsay said her husband did. They're from Canada. So
okay.
Yeah.
You can go over to the Las Vegas Speedway and drive exotic cars around the track.
Oh.
So it gets that chance.
Is that similar to what they used to have at Disney?
I would assume so, but these are like Lamborghini. These are
well, I think you could do that in Disney too. They had Lambos and Ferraris and
they're
Lotus.
They're great. I'm like looking right now. It's like it's very. If that's your thing, a car's your thing, and going fast, that's not a bad thing too.
Right.
One thing that I will not recommend, and this I didn't do this experience, but there's a couple tours out there where it's like, oh, we'll take you to the TV set of like Pawn Stars and the fish tank place and Count's Customs. FYI, everybody, when you go, they aren't there. Like, I'm just giving you a fair warning. Like when you walk in the Pawn Stars,
it's the cardboard
the Harrisons and Chumley are not going to be there waiting for you. Like they are not there. Yeah. You mean if that's your thing, like you want to go and kind of get your picture taken in the store and kind of maybe buy something, that's cool. But if you're going specifically to see those people, you're going to be out of luck. So that's Matt's tip of the week.
Well, I mean, and talking about activities, because obviously when we did our trip, we did kind of move a little bit away from Vegas. And it was a very short trip. We did a Wednesday, I think it was Saturday. We did a red eye back or something like that. I can't remember now. Yeah, that's what we did. But there's some other things that you can actually go out there and see if you get a rental car. I would not recommend using a Lyft or an Uber. You will probably get stranded if you venture away from Vegas. Kevin here said there's also Red Rock Canyon. Something that Taylor really wanted to do while we were out there was check out this place called the Seven Magic Mountains. There's only 6 here in the picture, but that's because one of them is kind of hidden by another one. But this is I guess what you would say is like an art exhibit. And it's pretty cool. It gets super busy. This was first thing in the morning, and within probably about, I don't know, 30 minutes after this, it was starting to get overrun with tourists taking pictures.
Right.
And it's just like a cool little thing. People do this for like Instagram and different stuff, which, this was, I want to say, boy, maybe 20 minutes south of Vegas, like directly south of Vegas. So that was cool.
Yeah, this thing's off the strip to do. And I mean,
one of my favorite things. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go. Go. You got the story.
I was saying one of my favorite things to do as far as like that doesn't involve drinking and debauchery. That's just a nice thing. I know I had to come up with some things, right? Is the Bellagio Conservatory Botanical Gardens. If you've ever gone there,
yes,
gorgeous.
Yes,
and they change it for winter, spring, summer, fall, and they apply to like all your senses. Like they put smells in there, they put sounds in there, they're bright colors. I mean, I guess not touch and taste because you're not supposed to touch and taste the stuff, but most of your senses, like it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and it's just like so amazing. You get lost in it. You almost feel like you're like in Alice in Wonderland or something. And as a Disney freak, I think that's pretty cool.
Josh, you did that, right? You guys went over to that?
I've got 2 pictures that I'll throw up here in just a few seconds. That's a really cool experience. And if you are very Instagram-ishy, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Like if you are all about getting those perfect photos for Instagram, I would highly recommend that you show up for this 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, because it will get so crowded in there with people that you won't be able to get any photos out people in it. And of course that's, Taylor's always trying to get those photos. So this is one of them they've got inside of there. And that's nobody knows that's Taylor right there. And it's really cool. So this is the only time that we've seen this. Like, I don't know what any of the other ones have ever looked like. Taylor would know probably more about it than me. But it's really, really cool place just to kind of hang out and, just like Michelle said, like there's sights, sounds, and smells in there. And it's really, really cool. Very, very cool. But it's free to do. So you don't have to pay anything. You just show up.
And especially with the Bellagio, you have those options. And then if you flip it to nighttime and seeing the water show at night, out the fountains, I think that's why the Bellagio, besides being pretty much right in the middle of the strip, that's why it's so popular.
So speaking of nighttime in Bellagio, so while we're on this little topic at the moment, I will say that if you, for some reason, are taking your kids out to Vegas, the one place that you should 100% avoid at any point in time would be the Bellagio at nighttime and the fountains. Right. I know it's super cool to see, and your kids would probably love it, but your kids really might see some stuff that they're never going to forget. I can tell you that right now. So I'm trying to forget
Mickey Mouse.
I'm trying to forget it. Yeah, well, I mean that too. Yeah. So this was I know the quality here is not the greatest, but this is kind of standing out on the roadway. I think this is out on the roadway. Yeah. And we're kind of looking, Bellagio's in the background there. You can see Caesar's Palace on the right, and these are the fountains, and they are synced to music. Does it change often?
I haven't been in a few years, so
okay.
And I usually see it from a distance too. I don't. Okay. I'm not right up on it either.
Yeah. So, kind of like what Matt said, something to be aware of. Right. I think it's always great to point out things that you should be aware of whenever you're looking to travel. Is that you will see some things that might scar you, especially if you're a Disney fan. We saw multiple Mickeys walking around in the same area and removing their heads. Also, Goofy's doing the same thing. Tigger is very strange, but if you're like there, it's like the adults having the bachelor party, bachelorette party, doing your thing. I mean, go check it out. Have fun.
You can see cool things too. This one guy made a picture of a dragon on the ground out of pennies, like that covered the whole sidewalk, cool. And that was really neat.
Super cool.
But then around the corner, there was a guy in a red, white, and blue spangled Speedo. Like,
Yes. Well, the ladies were dressed very promiscuously as well.
Yes, and we've talked about that in the past, Josh. I've gone times I've gone to Vegas where I played. I spent Halloween in Vegas, so I didn't.
Right. Okay.
I sat on the strip and I watched a lot of craziness of outfits.
I bet. I can only imagine.
Or not enough
non-outfits.
Listen. You could argue that a trip to Vegas it could be just sitting and people watching on the strip, especially at night. There is a lot to see and quite the variety.
Right.
I will say.
I mean, I'm going to go off kind of what Justin posted here too. You're going to see a lot of people trying to hand you stuff. Don't grab it. Don't no matter what it is. Do not take something from somebody that's trying to hand you something, because either it's inappropriate or they're going to be looking for money for it, and then they're not going to leave you alone until you give them money. So, my recommendation: one hand in your pocket on your wallet, other hand holding a beverage, and just
there you go. That's a good
or if you're like me, you can have two beverages and just alternate as you keep walking down the strip.
That's perfect.
That works.
It's Vegas. But I know Josh and I joked about it as like those cards is like you use them like they're like baseball cards and you collect them.
Oh right.
No. That's a no. That was joking. But you know what I mean? It's like so like that first Vegas trip for me was like a wedding. Like my second. What did I even do my second one? It was during like a big comedy festival. So every big name comedian was in Vegas. Okay. And I saw we went to see Dana Carvey perform. Big Saturday Night Live. I'm a big Wayne's World. Having the opportunity to see Dana Carvey live was just awesome for me. So being able to see like a comedian out there. The next time after that, I played golf for my first time. It was my first golf experience. I played at TPC Summerlin, which way above my golf skill level. Trying to hit balls over like areas that just bad. And then I did a sporting event out there. I went out to a UFC fight.
Oh, cool.
And then the next trip after that, I kind of pulled it back a little bit and did really nice dinners, and I saw a show. If people know me, like I'm not really that big person that's like, I'm going to go see this play. I'm not going to see this. I fell in love with Jersey Boys. The Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons story is phenomenal.
Okay.
Like that was playing at the Venetian, and I think it moved down to the Paris, and I think it's actually off the strip now.
Okay.
But, you know what I mean? There's so many shows. Like you Carrot Top.
Well, and I think the thing for us, which was a little disappointing about being out there, was that we were coming in really after everything was kind of being lifted in Vegas from COVID, and which, made it so that we didn't really get to experience a lot of shows at all. There really wasn't much that was going on as far as shows go. We did get to see a magician perform over at Tropicana, which was cool, on a smaller stage. And, we enjoyed it. But I think one thing that we would have loved to have been able to see would have been one of the Cirque du Soleil shows, which, didn't happen. They actually were starting it literally the 1st of July. And we were leaving, just a few days before that. So,
if you want to see a Cirque du Soleil show, that I think Vegas is like your first stop. You know what I mean? Because you have the one at the Mirage, Love by the Beatles. You got the Michael Jackson one, and you got 3 others. I mean, cross those off your list, and they're great shows. I haven't been to them myself, but I know friends and family have, and they're like this circus fan. Like they love those things, and I want to say my aunt's probably seen all 5 of them in Vegas.
Oh wow!
Our schedule kind of obviously throws off a little bit when we're down in Disney, so she won't be able to see the one at Disney Springs. Womp womp.
Oh right. Yep.
I think we'll have to make another trip. But you know what I mean? Like you got so many legendary shows out there. Like growing up, this guy was a god to me. David Copperfield. Like,
that's somebody who I really wanted to see.
This guy, I didn't miss a special, every time he came up to Boston, I saw him, I met him, I got a book signed. Like this guy was
that's
like
so cool.
the man.
Yeah.
And like he performs out there. Chris Angel. Chris Angel.
Yeah.
Like Mind Freak. Like I mean, that's obviously a little bit younger crowd and a little bit like crazy. I mean, there's legit people out there. You know what I mean? Obviously, people have had their residencies out there. Like Brittany did her residency for a while. Celine Dion. I know Elton John did one.
Yep.
For all my country fans, Brooks and Dunn and Reba McEntire did one together. I know, Josh, that's way over your head on that one.
I know who they are, so.
You weren't sitting front row?
I mean, no.
And
I wasn't.
Everybody's favorite. I want to say they're still out there. I haven't really looked and checked. Is Donnie and Marie, the Osmonds?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's way over your head now, Josh.
Sure
way
is.
over your head.
I'm just participating at this point.
Show wise, look up everything because you never know someone who's just going to be in town, or they have the small comedy clubs. You never know when. Someone's just going to be in town for a long weekend doing some shows. Do your research. Have your travel agent do your research on things that you like, comedy shows, acrobat shows, stuff like that. You saw you saw a smaller comedy show. You said, right?
Yeah, it was like a comedy magic show, and I apologize because I'm forgetting his name at the moment.
Okay, wasn't that?
It was fantastic, though. We really had a great time. He's got the weird hair, not Carrot Top, obviously. It's like almost blonde, white, almost.
Yep, I'm with you. I can't think of his name.
And he wears glasses.
Glasses. Yep.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna post it in the chat in a minute.
Probably. And it was great. We had a great time. We got to meet him afterwards, which was really cool. Especially kind of being in the times that it is right now when we were over there. So that was at a very small location, though, in Tropicana. Like there might
it's Murray.
Yes, that's who it is. Murray the Magician. Yeah. There may have been like 15 tables, maybe 20 max in there. So it was very small. You were very close to the stage, which was really cool. And, we had a great time. And I'm sure there's plenty of other locations like that. And I think that, they probably switch out comedians and magicians and whoever else all the time. So, yeah, I mean, like you said, Matt, I mean, you never know,
Right.
You never know who's going to be out there. So even though he's a regular, he lives
right.
there. So.
There's a lot of them that have that regular set, but I know they got a Laugh Factory out there where it rotates probably every weekend.
Well, I think that's what it is. I think that's what it was the Tropicana Laugh Factory. Yeah. I don't know if they've got multiple space in there for showings, but the space was not large.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, the Laugh Factory, like if anybody's familiar with the Laugh Factory, they have them nationally. It's great opportunity to see comedians like I've said in the past off air. Josh, one of my good friends, Paul Scally, who's my cruise director on my first cruise, he's a comedian out in Vegas, and
cool.
I mean he's on the Strip 2-3 times a week. He's off the Strip sometimes on Fremont. He does really well. If anybody is familiar with him, he used to be the cruise director on Norwegian Dawn.
Okay.
And he was the original voice of the Geico Gecko.
Wow.
That's funny.
Yep. And then another person that I've gotten to know through Paul, who's crazy popular, is a guy named Zoe Bowie. He performs on the main stage out in front of Fremont Street all the time.
Okay.
He's electric. Like,
yeah,
a lot of covers and just brings the energy. And all those shows in the main strip of Fremont Street, they're free.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, well, Michelle, when you guys were out there, I know it was, more for your birthday celebration. Maybe you didn't do as much. Maybe you guys did a little bit more of the partying scene. I mean, were there things that you went and did that, what all did you do exactly?
So I was going to put in, did you know that you can go ziplining, across, the strip. Like you can go, like for someone who was like active, wants to get out and not just do a show or not just, wants to do like a hands-on thing. And it's awesome because you can see like all around you Vegas while you're like zip lining through places. Also, I was going to mention that he said before the high roller, like the big Ferris wheel, for lack of a better term, but it goes super slow. And you can get up and you go really high. You can see over everything and you can get bar service while you're in there. And like you pay for like however long it is, unlimited. You just drink while you're in there. So it takes like an hour to go around the whole thing or whatever it is. You just
power hour.
You're done. Yeah. So that's cool.
Get money's worth.
Wow. And then one other thing that was not party related, and it was over at the Luxor, and still they have it. A lot of people wouldn't necessarily think of it, but the bodies exhibit. I don't know if you've seen that or if you've done that. It's really cool. Like I'll read like how they put it because it's better than how I would put it. It's an innovative preservation process of real bodies and organs in detailed 3D view of human form rarely seen outside of an anatomy lab. So you go in and you see exactly like they were once, alive, real body people, and like you can see like an intersection of them. You see like how bodies move, how things happen, and it's actually really neat. And we did do that, and that was like the last day, I think, and some people were pretty hungover, and some people were like, "Well, this isn't why I came to Vegas," but it's still really cool.
I can just picture people doing that exhibit with the big yard like frozen margarita around their neck as they're just drinking out of their straws. They're just staring at this.
That would be funny.
That's one of the good sights of Vegas, seeing those kind of people. But there's something for everybody, and like I'm sure Josh, like next time you go, there's probably about 50 other things that you want to do.
Oh, for sure. I mean, first and foremost, we want to see more shows. So, which is something we didn't get to do. So
I would recommend Ellis Island. I forgot to say that. It's 5 to 10 minutes off the strip. It's a brewery. It has like a small hotel casino, but every night they have karaoke, and the drinks are like normal price. Like, they're not Vegas price drinks. Yeah. I drank all night. And I think my tab was $25. Like maybe some of it was bought for my birthday. I don't know. But like, I know the price was really cheap on the drinks, and it was fun karaoke, and you can go gamble a little if you want and come back, but you can't just really walk there. But it's and that's where a lot of the locals go because like it's a good price. It's a good thing. So where the locals go, that's where you want to go.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. It's like, I think with food wise, like if people want to go the cheaper route, there is just some research you got to do just a little bit. Cause there's some places where you can get breakfast, like eggs and bacon and like a full like breakfast for like $4.
Oh wow!
Like you just got to search for it a little bit, and don't be afraid of happy hour. A lot of great happy hour specials on mixed beverages.
Okay, cool. What else you got, Matt? Anything?
I thought we might just cut it short right now because we're going to go see Harmonious.
We got to get ready to see fireworks.
All righty.
I think that like
works for me.
Obviously, we threw this kind of like last minute curveball and kind of went a little early. And Vegas is kind of like the never ending talk because there's so many. You can talk the Strip. You can talk Fremont. You can talk like golfing. You can talk spas. Yeah. It's just never ending. So this might be a subject that we readdress after GoldCon 2025 when we have it in Vegas.
Oh my gosh. Maybe. We'll see. That'd be cool.
I think that's it for us. Michelle, you got anything you want to wrap it up with?
No, I think that's about it. I have tons of food things to talk about, but we can't get to that. I mean, it's a whole nother thing on its own is food. Like that's just
we could definitely have another episode in the near future because Taylor and I got to eat at a couple of nice places as well. So, I mean, we're always down to talk about food. So, sure. Vegas and food.
Yeah, Vegas, so many elegant restaurants by high-name chefs. And most of the buffets out there are legit buffets. Yeah. Like real good, like quality buffets where you're paying a decent amount of money for, but
so well, I guess we've got like 5 minutes left, so thank you everybody for hanging out and watching. looking to start planning your next vacation, it's the 50th celebration down at Walt Disney World. It kicks off on Friday. So need some help? We're here to help. Head on over to www.goldgellgetaways.com. And yeah, Matt?
Make sure to like us on all our social media, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Find your favorite agent on Facebook. Lots of options out there. We'll see you guys next Wednesday for probably what I'm going to say is one of our most anticipated episodes.
Yeah, Disney Cruise Line.
Disney Cruise Lines, how it is to go on it now.
Yeah.
Everybody have a great night. Everybody go watch Harmonious. And now we're off to plan your next vacation.
Bye.
Bye.